So we're sitting here cracking walnuts for our walnut baklava. We're making mini walnut cup baklava type things for our Christmas contribution. And these are actually walnuts off of my cousin's walnut farm back in where they live.
Right near Walla Walla?
Right, yeah. Milton Freewater, Oregon. So, fresh walnuts. They're actually really, really good, but I'm not going to eat one right now. And we thought it'd be a good time to chat about our first few weeks at RV life and some of the things that we've learned. And definitely been a little bit of a trial by fire.
It's a good learning experience for sure.
Hitting the state parks we're in Washington State. We're staying at state parks, and it's December, so
wet.
It's been very, very wet. Very wet, windy, rainy, very stormy. This is actually one of the first dry days, and it is an absolutely gorgeous day, which is why we're outside doing this, which is just fun. So, yeah, we've learned a few things.
Like water systems?
Playing around with water systems, toilet systems.
Toilet systems. How to unclog an RV toilet. There's a bit of an art to that.
And what else? Weight distributing hitches. We've been playing around with that. And dealing with condensation.
Condensation. Kind of an annoying piece to deal with. Seems like every day you gotta open the windows and let it air out.
Just open these windows?
Yes, I did.
Gotcha.
I just opened them. Seems like it was not a problem in Montana, but it's definitely been a problem in Washington.
Yeah, it seems a little bit more humid here.
Quite a bit more.
And in Montana we were dry camping, and so I don't know if that had something to do with it, because we were parked at our house out there, and we were plugged in for electric, but we weren't
taking showers and stuff.
Yeah, we weren't using water, and so yeah, we weren't using the camper for showers or cooking.
No, and cooking really does kick over the moisture in there.
So, but we've found that to deal with the condensation is actually pretty easy if we just crack the windows, just barely crack the windows, just a little bit during the day. And especially if we're going to be gone, we'll do it when we're gone, because we leave the space heater running pretty much constantly. And because on a chilly day, cracking the windows, it can get it's a little bit harder to take the edge off.
A little harder.
But
yeah,
if
I just cracked a walnut with my hands. There you go.
Good job. But yeah, leaving the windows cracked just a sliver whenever you can helps to just evaporate a lot of that moisture off. And that's the only place we're really dealing with moisture and condensation is on the windows. There hasn't really been any on the walls or anything, except for where our mattress butts up against exterior walls. And I've addressed that just by I put a towel in between that I change about once a week when we change the sheets. And that
works? Yeah,
that solves that problem.
Good.
So we've also had to figure out, one of the first things we had to figure out was heating the RV.
Yeah, figuring out how to turn the thermostat on and off, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And what you need for what works best for heating. It's kind of nice that we don't have to pay for electricity.
Yeah, that helps.
That makes it nice.
But dry camping, we just started out with a space heater.
Yeah.
And that actually seems to work really well.
It does seem to work really well.
We just have one of those stand-up like ceramic heaters that will oscillate, and it's got a thermostat on it. And it's just the one that we actually we've had it for years. Used it in our bedroom in our house.
Yeah. Keeps the chill off really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know about superheating the house or anything like that. But
because when we first bought the RV, we were a little bit nervous about turning on the propane and all that just yet. And so, but we've got the propane system all figured out. And now we know that the propane heater works really nice, but it can suck up the propane really fast.
Yeah, I prefer the electric heat, especially when we're not paying for it, just from a cost basis.
Yeah. So otherwise, we go through a 7-pound tank or 7-gallon tank in about a week.
About a week.
So this one we've been going on for 2 weeks because we haven't been using the propane heater a whole lot.
And that's been cooking, but that's also been showers, the water heater and all that.
The water heater runs off the propane, the refrigerator runs off the propane, the stove runs off the propane, and the main RV heat system runs off propane. So using all those systems a lot, one tank will last us about a week. Supplementing with the space heater and having the RV fridge on electric, then one tank lasts us about 2 weeks. So that's a good.
That is a good.
And it's about $15 right now to fill one of those up.
Which is pretty cheap anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to have that stuff figured out now. All the things that people don't tell you.
We've had the water hose freeze on us twice, and so it's actually been a really mild fall. We just hit the first day of winter a couple days ago, so it's really been more fall camping than winter camping so far. But if it drops even just a couple degrees below freezing, we need a normal, or with the normal hose, the hose will freeze. So the inside of the water doesn't freeze, but even leaving the faucet on just to trickle, the water hose still froze. So we invested in a Camco heated water hose. And so it's a 12-foot hose that is electric and the heater's all built in. So
haven't had to use it yet. But
yeah, haven't had to use it yet. We're in the end of December and it's hardly freezing out here.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Which is, yeah, that's really weird. So, but I'm sure we'll get a chance to use that when we get back in February. So.
Yeah, for sure. I don't see us getting through without having to use it.
Yeah. So what else do we have on our list?
So sewer system.
Yeah, the black water tank.
Yeah. So something most people don't tell you is that you're supposed to leave that thing shut. You're not supposed to leave it open while you're using it.
You want to make sure that you're not using the bypass, that you actually use the tank. So we've been on full hookups at the state parks, and you can bypass your black water tank, and it just goes, when you flush the toilet, it just goes straight out into the sewer. And so that's kind of how we had it set up at first, and ended up with a nice toilet paper clog, and had to, Jim is an awesome man and did all the dirty work, and we had to buy one of those snake coil type tools, and took care of the problem after some troubleshooting and whatnot. But now we've learned that you want to close the black water tank even though you're on full hookups, and you want to put a bit of water into the tank to start, and then use plenty of water when you flush.
Yes.
Yeah. And then every few days or so you open the black water tank and let it empty, and then open your gray water tank and let that empty after it, and then it flushes your hose, and then you close it back up and use it for another week or however long, depending on the size of your tanks and use and stuff like that.
Yep.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Don't try a plunger.
Plungers don't work on RV toilets.
Just get the snake.
And I just got it wasn't even a toilet snake. It was a kitchen sink and bathroom sink snake, because they all work the same, and you don't need a 50-foot snake for an RV system. You need like
10 to 20 feet, more than enough.
At the very, very most. Like I think ours was 12 feet, and it
was
plenty big enough. So that worked. But hopefully you just don't have to deal with that problem at all. Moving on. Yeah, I think that there were just a few, because it was a used RV. And so...
Well used.
I mean, it's not... I don't think it had a whole lot of miles on it. They hadn't used it a whole lot. It's a 2003, but it was mostly parked. And there weren't really a whole lot of signs of wear and tear, other than we did have to recock the shower. And Jim had to do some work on the refrigerator. The refrigerator was freezing everything.
Yeah, it was running too cold.
Solid, like
The
beyond
thermistor
too cold.
was out.
Yeah.
On that.
So that's what you replaced, is the thermistor.
Yeah, thermistor.
Yeah.
And I got an adjustable one. I think it was like, what was it, 29 bucks off of like, I think it was like off eBay or something like that. And works really great. And so we can turn the temperature up or down in the refrigerator if we need to, which I think would be a huge bonus. I think depending on where we're at climate-wise, that might actually just come in handy.
Yeah. And I've got a refrigerator thermometer in there just to kind of monitor it and make sure that we're sitting right around 40 degrees, which is where I'm pretty sure that's where our refrigerator is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
at first I wondered if it was just where we were at, because we were in Montana and it was pretty cold at that point. It was like 10 and 20 degrees, and so I was wondering if it was just freezing because it was just cold outside.
It was cold out there.
It was cold.
It's much nicer out here. Though rainy.
A little rainy, a little wetter, but a little warmer. I'll take the wet over the cold any day.
And windy. There was a tornado about 15-20 miles from here last week.
Yeah.
So,
rare for this neck of the woods, but
very rare. So yeah, that's kind of been some of the logistics of stuff that we've had to work out for our first couple weeks in an RV. I guess it's been 4.5 weeks. It's been a month.
been a month.
It's been a month. We've been on full hookups, so getting stuff sorted out, and
Still need to figure out how to level the stupid thing.
yeah, we're working on our process and our setup and tear down checklist. We're getting that dialed in. We're going to get that dialed in.
It's definitely good to have a checklist and an order of doing things, I think.
And we're getting storage figured out on the inside, and getting it set up the way that we want it to be set up and whatnot. And so maybe down the road we'll do a little tour of our cute little 22-foot Sportsman.
It's a tiny little trailer, but it's nice. It's cozy. It's little on the outside and big on the inside.
Yeah. So we're gonna finish making our baklava, and so we can snack on some tonight and take it to Christmas dinner tomorrow. And then I think we might get a campfire going later today, but definitely tomorrow morning we're gonna do a campfire, because it's supposed to be nice like this tomorrow as well. So thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
In case anybody's wondering, while we're using channel locks, is that what those are called? It's because we don't have nutcrackers.
A little vice grip.
We also don't have a nut farm, so I don't want to buy nutcrackers.
Just another thing.
Yeah, and when you're living in an RV, every little thing makes a difference.
Yes, it does.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve.
The walnut baklava. Yeah, so yummers. And paper plates, because RV style.